and then individuals are stuck with a choice, and they basically have to rely on their own conscience. There's also something called becoming sovereign, and you can look that up on the internet and find out the process to go through. I can't guarantee that it works. I have gotten reports that it does work from individuals who do it, although one of those individuals happens to be living somewhere in South America, even though he's an American citizen. So I don't know, you could figure out whether or not he's actually completely out from under the weight of the law at this time. And if anyone tells you that it's mandatory to take a swine flu shot or any kind of shot, I highly urge everyone not to do so. And then, and I'm sure you'd agree on that. We have another quick question, and then I'd love, because unfortunately we've only got a certain amount of time for you here, but, as always, I can have you back on and we can do further updates, Miriam. But we've got a question here. The Maya have spoken out through Drunvalo Melchizedek. How similar is this to the Hopi message and the message from the Tall Blondes?
I have only watched part of the message from Drunvalo. I'll be quite honest, it was difficult for me to watch because the first, 25 minutes of it, he didn't say much. So I have to say that I lost interest in listening to what was being shared. What I do know is that the Mayans are, trying to tell us that we're going into this time of change and that we need to pay attention and that, the sun is going to be blocked out and so forth. The Hopi message, from my understanding, and I can't speak on their behalf, is not quite as dire as what it might appear from the Mayans. So I think that whole picture is not complete until the Hopi come forward and share with us, their views. What I can tell you, and what I have permission to tell you, is that they truly believe as exactly the same as the Tall Blondes, which is that humanity and their thinking has an effect on the earth, and that if we focus on all of these negative things, that it will have that negative effect. And that, I can tell you for sure, with absolute certainty, is the message coming from Hopi, is that we have a personal responsibility to be more aware of our conscious thoughts to assist in lessening these incidents, but that they are a fact. They are, we are moving into this time, but we have the ability to lessen the blow, period. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry about that. I was getting an incoming call, and I can put that one to voicemail. Every once in a while, I get calls, and because we have whistleblowers, I have to always take a second to figure out whether it's an important call from a whistleblower or from a contact that Camelot has that might have crucial information. So sorry about that slight delay. But I know you understand, Miriam.
Absolutely. And actually, I just got a phone call that I've been waiting for that's excessively important also. Because you know where I am, Curie, at the moment, and so yep. I just got a call from someone that I've been waiting for. Yes, all morning.
Wonderful. Okay. Now
right. We only have a few more minutes, so that's fine. So,
yeah. So why don't you share some of the really crucial stuff that you're here to share? And it's really important, if you could briefly tell people about your travels, because you really are going around the globe, connecting with indigenous peoples, and then making the effort to unite them, because in a sense you're communicating between the various groups.
Right. I think the most critical thing for people to keep in their thoughts right now is that there are going to be more earth changes, and that not to have fear over these things, not to go into panic, but just to recognize that our thoughts have this power to lessen the impacts. They do need to mentally, physically, spiritually prepare somewhat for these earth changes. And yes, they should still be getting their heritage and heirloom seeds, because it's not just for survival. For survival, this is about Monsanto and their genetically modified seeds and laws and restrictions being put on people around the earth to own heritage and heirloom seeds, which are natural seeds. And you want to be able to provide for your family and for your neighbors and for your community. And the more people that are planting gardens, the less impact we have on the earth. And as well, you're able to provide food for your family. So no matter how or what angle you look at it, that still needs to remain a focus. I'm also going to suggest that people take the time to look at their own dreams and visions and pay attention to them. That's critical that they start to really focus on that right now, because the dreams and visions are becoming increasingly clearer and stronger for people. So to be aware of those. If it's warning you about something, just pay attention, but don't do it from a fear. And the current work that I've been doing is to, as you said, connect these indigenous tribes. I can't speak for any of them, but what I can say is I was in Colombia recently. I did spend time with the Kogis, Arahuaco, Wiwa, and Kunquamo, the 4 sacred tribes of the Sierra Nevada, and I was blessed to have that opportunity to spend with these, what they call mamos, these sacred people. And they do have a message that's coming back out. Unfortunately, my skill at being able to clip together some of these videos that I took, because they were very brief clips, and I need to have someone that speaks Spanish and translate them and all sorts of things. And I apologize to Project Camelot people for not having this up. But what I can tell you is that the message coming out of the Sierra Nevada, and from the Kogi to be more precise, is that if we don't smarten up, we're going to run out of water and we're going to die. I mean, that is the bottom line. They're saying we have a very short period of time to focus fully on making these changes that are necessary for us and our survival. And they are the guardians of water. And so we need to really be paying attention to them and what they are trying to convey to us. Unfortunately, I don't have enough to be able to share a massive amount. There is a short 6-minute clip that was made by an amazing documentary filmmaker who is currently working on another larger piece of information to bring out of the Sierra Nevada and share with the world for free without us having to pay for it. And I'm going to be putting this 6-minute clip onto my website this afternoon or this evening. And it'll be under my news section, so watch for that, because it'll be a message from the Mamos, from these sacred people. And that will be placed on there. But the message is also, it's really, that's critical, is unity and coming together and working in any way that you can within your community and within your networks in order to get these messages from all different areas of your knowledge, whether it is from the whistleblowers that are at Project Camelot or the spiritual people in your life and the yogi that you go to visit, to really get those messages out. Because the next stage of what we're moving into is going to be possibly turmoil as a result of the breaking down further of the financial system. The food supply is getting increasingly more difficult. We get a lot of supplies from Chile in our winter months. We need to be aware of that. If a disaster strikes California, that's going to be a major blow to all of North and South America. We need to respect that and be aware of that. And because I have had major visions of earthquakes in California, and just yesterday and the day before, I was banging into walls. So there is another earthquake coming. It will be fairly close to here, so it could possibly be California or Mexico region in the next week or week and a half at the very, very furthest point. And I am returning to Colombia because I need to continue a conversation that I started with these Kogi Mamos. And I have asked them, I directly asked many of these mamos if they were wanting to come forward